time and place for the regular school directors meeting of the Laurel Highlands School Board. I'd like to have a silent meditation followed by a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Kim.
Mrs. Peel? Present. Mrs. Conway? Present. Mr. DeAndrea?
Here.
Mr. DeBruin? Mr. Elias?
Present.
Mr. Valencia?
Here.
Mr. Lehman?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Here.
Mr. Raymond?
Good evening.
Be present. One absent.
Thank you, Kim. Adoption of the agenda with adjustment to L3A.
Motion. I'll second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Recognition of visitors and guests. Is there anybody here tonight that would like to speak? Jason?
Yeah, I have a question. I know the November meeting put out an RFP for bus transportation, and at that time I requested for me to do a presentation, and I was just wondering if you guys could set a time so we can have transportation.
Right now, preliminarily, we are looking at I want to make sure I get the date right. Thursday, the 13th of February is when we're looking at having a committee meeting for that. So that would be where you would be able to present to the board at that time.
Okay, do you know if you're going to take action on that in February again?
I would like to. That's why we're doing it the week before, so that if there's any questions or anything that needs to be ironed out, we can do that prior to the meeting.
I have a lot of information. If you can do it any sooner, it's probably better. It's going to be a longer process. I've been working on it for over a month. There's a lot of information that I have to get out.
A week prior isn't enough?
Something to forward. I mean, I'm gonna hit them with a lot of information.
Okay. All right, I'll be in touch with you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. I'd like to have a motion for the approval of the minutes of reorganization meeting of December 3rd, 2024, regular meeting of December 3rd, 2024, special meeting of December 11th, 2024, and special meeting of January 7th, 2025.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. To have a motion for approval of the attendance records of committee meetings and work sessions for the work session of January 13th, 2024.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And is this going to be televised any other time other than the live stream?
It's always up on YouTube too.
Oh,
And
it's
I think
up on
that
YouTube.
the South Union Cable Network picks it up too on Armstrong.
Okay. Okay, on South Union Township Network and YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent's report, Dr. Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. I'd first like to congratulate 3 of our junior girls who were recently recognized and honored during the 35th Women in Science Day at Seton Hill University in Greensburg, PA. The honor is awarded to junior girls who have excelled in science STEM classes or courses. This year, Laurel Highlands was represented by Mia Fabry, Kate John, and Ava Sefchak. Congratulations to those ladies. Job well done. Also, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Miller and Mr. Johns on a $2,000 United Way not scholarship, but grant for the kindergarten transition program. The intent of this grant is strictly for activities to support events agreed upon by the Laurel Highlands School District kindergarten transition team. And every dollar counts, and we're going out, or we go after all the grants that we can, so congratulations there for a job well done in bringing in an extra $2,000 for our transition program for kindergartners. Next, I would like to congratulate Mr. Paul Patrone. He was recently nominated as another one of the Laurel Highlands School District teachers in the running for the PA Teacher of the Year. And we congratulate him on his nomination along with the others. Good work to Mr. Patrone for being recognized for his hard work. And lastly, but not leastly, I would like to thank all the board members for their service on the board. January is the official recognized month of school board recognition and appreciation month. All of you have a little gift bag that we put on your area where you sit. Of special importance is the plant, which was cultivated out of our own aquaponics lab. And this was done through our own students in Laurel Highlands and through our staff. And it's a pretty neat project. If you haven't been down to the high school to look at it, please try to stop by and take a look at that, along with a shirt and some other little gifts that we put in a bag for you. But that does not come anywhere near close the recognition that you need to have for the job that you do. You show up here every month, multiple times a month. I think since November, we've had a board meeting or a committee meeting every week up to Christmas break and then after. And I know a lot of you think, well, I didn't sign up for that much time, but I can tell you that I, for one, and so does the district, appreciate you taking the time out of your life to do this. And I know it's tough, and I know it's often treacherous, but we appreciate you and what you do. So thank you very much for your efforts and time. That concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Dr. Wallace. Academic Foundation report, Mr. Colensi.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Once again, the high school, Laurel Highlands High School, and the Academic Foundation will be hosting the high school musical. And the Academic Foundation will be hosting an auction of donated items, March 7th, 8th, and 9th. Stop by for your candy, water, and auction tickets. All proceeds benefit teaching staff with innovative teaching grants. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Colensi. Comprehensive Plan, Board Policy, and Public Relations Committee, Mr. Colensi.
No? It's not.
Policies.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Under BP 1, I'd like to put in form of a motion for approval of the revisions to the following policies found in Exhibit A. That's 247 hazing, 317.1 educator misconduct, and 801 public records. I'll second it.
Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Mr. Colensi, again. Curriculum Committee, Mrs. Conway.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. The last day of the second semester is Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. Report cards will go home on Thursday, January 30th, 2025. In addition, parents and students can access student grades on the parent portal on our website. C2 is informational. The Laurel Highlands School District has been awarded 2 CCD grants to continue to update and improve security and safety within the district. These funds will be used for early warning systems, physical upgrades, training, and any other Tier 1 safety initiatives that are needed. The 2 grants total $191,974. C3 is informational. The Laurel Highlands School District was awarded a grant to help promote students going into the education field, specifically the special education field. This grant totals $20,000 and will be used in conjunction with our aquaponics lab and greenhouse to promote cooperative learning and career skills. C4 is informational. Laurel Highlands School District has partnered with Varsity Tutors to provide another layer of support for our students. Students can access the 24/7 on-demand chat tutoring and on-demand essay review and live tutoring resources to help your student with any questions about homework, classwork, or test prep. live group classes, recorded classes, and celebrity-led star courses allow your student to learn more about the subjects they're interested in and add a touch of fun. In addition, please contact your school office if you are interested in more intense high-dosage tutoring from Varsity Tutors. This high-dosage tutoring is only available through May 2025. Contact your school office soon to get your student set up. C5, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve student-teacher placement for Penn West California University for spring 2025, and it's as listed below.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Mrs. Conway. Buildings and Grounds Committee, Mr. Meadows.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Thank you, Mr. Polino, for this report. Again, I would like to thank Mr. Polino and his staff. I know I say this every meeting, but it continues to be true. Not only do we have the day-to-day operations that they're always responsible for, and we have athletics now, but now the weather comes into play. We have snow. Job well done. Job, Mr. Polino and all your staff. That concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. Finance, Budget, and Taxation Committee, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. We can make a motion to approve bank reconciliation for summary report non-exhibit.
Second that.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Lamb?
Yes.
Mr. Columbus?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal? Yes. Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
8 yeas, 1 absent.
Make a motion to approve bank bills non-exhibit C.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal? Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Columbus?
Yes.
Mr. Lamb?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Your investment report in exhibit B is informational. Make a motion to approve the federal report in exhibit B.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Columbus?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal? Yes. Mr. Lamb?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
I did not receive a copy of the student activity funds and athletic report. So,
Motion tabled.
motion to table.
Second.
Proper motion's been made to table. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. Health, Nutrition, and Foods Committee, Mrs. Conway.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. HFN 1, I'd like to put in the form of a motion the cafeteria report found in Exhibit G.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal? Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Columbus?
Yes.
Mr. Lamb?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
That concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Mrs. Conway. Security, Safety, and Transportation Committee, Mrs. Beal.
Renee, approve additional drivers from M-Number Transportation, Exhibit H.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Beal. Human Resources Committee, Mr. Kalinsik.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Under P1A, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve the additional substitute teachers found in Exhibit I.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under P2, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve request by professional employee for sabbatical leave for restoration of health for the second semester of the 2024-2025 school year.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under P3, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve additional substitute employees for support personnel found in Exhibit I.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under P4, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve the selection of 10.5-month custodian, Mr. Tim Miller, in the district per the collective bargaining agreement. Assignment will be made by administration at the end of the bidding process.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Calencia?
Yes.
Mr. Lemon?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
And under P5, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve the paraprofessional update found in Exhibit J.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes my report, Mr. Dandridge.
Thank you, Mr. Kalinsky. Athletic and Extracurricular Activities Committee, Mr. Landman.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Under A&E 1A, I'd like to put in the form of a motion the approval of a request by Coach John Smith, head varsity boys basketball coach, to use Cole Novotny as a volunteer assistant coach for the program for the 24-25 season. Dr. Waltz, all the clearances are in, I presume, yes? I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion?
All clearances in.
Yes, that's what, Mr. Landman asked if all his clearances were in. And, Dr. Waltz said yes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
DeAndrea.
Mr. Landman. Legal advisor, Mr. Frankhauser.
No grievances pending before the board, and this is an update with regard to the various tax assessment appeals. We're trying to resolve. My goal is to try to get these in place prior to the April meeting so that these will be a better idea as to the effect on the budgeting process. That will certainly have an effect. And right now, we do have some arrangements that appear to be at least palatable because of the appraisals that we have been able to obtain that are not necessarily much different than the appellant's appraisals that they've received. So we have in place, I believe, arrangements with Dix and Bob Evans, which are not really that extensive of a change. The situation with the Faith Assembly Church, which is the old Holiday Inn, is quite significant, and that is because of the exemption that is there for church properties. And what they are seeking to have done is a reassessment which amounts to a change from a $10 million value to a $3.2 million value and be 50% taxable. Our review of the circumstances up there indicate that that's probably a sustainable burden on their part to be able to show that at least 50% of the property is being used for church purposes. What we are also attempting to do, though, is to reduce that for the 2023 year, which was only partially used, 2024 being completely used for the church purposes, and have that to be approved to remain the same, at least right now, through the 2026 fiscal year. So that's the negotiations that we're attempting to complete with that one. As a set-off for that one, also, though, we are directing the assessment office to, as soon as possible, return the property that is on Morgantown Road in South Union. That was the former location of the church, to a taxable property. So that was just handled recently by South Union with regard to a zoning matter, and we feel that that is a fully taxable property at this point not being used for church purposes, so that will offset a great deal of the tax that was exempt at that location. So that's the,
This was valued at $10 million.
the method that we're using.
That's about $8 million.
It's large. The calculation of tax loss just for that property alone, without the set off for the reinstatement of the property on Morgantown, is approximately $60,000 per year for the school district. Okay? We also had a conference today with the attorneys for Target and Walmart, and we're reset for another conference on that on January the 28th to try to resolve those two without a formal trial, and that is because the appraisal that we did get back pretty much mirrors the appraisal that they got, which would result in a substantial decrease in their taxes. We are also dealing with these in a way that the reduction in taxes that they may receive for the prior years, because most of these have at least 2 years associated with them in back taxes, that because the appeals were filed that far in advance, to have those as credits toward future payments and not require any immediate outlay of cash by the school district. So those overpayments, so to speak, will be resolved in credits moving forward for their taxes in the following years. One other issue that I have brought to the attention of Southwest Regional Tax Bureau because of these circumstances is to see if we can get a more complete report on the mercantile tax that is supposed to be being paid by these entities, so that we can be sure that the Department of Revenue information that's being supplied to Southwest Regional supplies the profits and the sales that these entities are incurring or enjoying, so that we can have an idea that the mercantile tax that's being paid is accurate. So that's the report.
Thank you, Mr. Frankhauser. I'd like to have a motion to approve changing the February work session to Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the boardroom. And then the regular meeting will be on February the 19th of 2025 at 6 p.m. in the high school library.
I'll second it.
Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any question on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to have a motion to approve, to require, authorize the superintendent to cease any and all medical and retirement benefits of any employee receiving a board-approved courtesy grace period extension of said benefits past and not to exceed cumulative 90-day period. Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Lamb?
Pass.
Mr. Clancy?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
6 yeas to pass.
Any that passes, we should change? Okay. 6-0. Motion carries. Okay, this is informational. State ethics forms for calendar year 2024 are due to Kim Pegg in the district office by May 1st, 2025. General matters? Oh, go to the addendum? Okay. You good,
I'd like the board to consider a motion to approve the abolishment of a high school biology and middle school English position However, the district will continue to provide educational instruction to students in those classes until the end of the school year 24-25.
I'll second.
Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like the board to consider a motion to deny the request of professional employee B for a good cause leave for the remainder of the 24-25 school year.
Motion.
Second.
Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any question on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like the board to consider a motion to approve the administration to enter into negotiations with the ASME Group to possibly move 10.5-month employees to 12-month positions.
Motion.
I'll second.
Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
That
Motion
concludes the
carries.
addendum, Mr. DeAndrea.
Okay, the general matters. Career and Technical Institute report. Mr. Meadows.
We haven't had our meeting, our first meeting of the new year yet for the Career Technical Institute. I've nothing to report at this time.
Okay, what do I have? Bev, do you have anything to report?
From the authority standpoint and the CTI itself, the health facility that's under construction, it was reported the last meeting that it is actually ahead of schedule,
Oh, wow.
and they're very satisfied with the progress that has been made in the construction. They're looking for it to be open on time,
Dan Hoff does a good job out there with that.
and he's retiring.
I know. Yeah, we did great. Thank you, Mr. Frankhauser. Intermediate Unit 1 report. The Intermediate Unit 1 Student Showcase and Annual Convention will be held at the Hilton Garden Inn, South Point, Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, on March 25th, 2025. More information to follow. Any other business? Any other public comment? Anybody else wish to speak tonight? Have a motion for adjournment? Oh. Go ahead, Mr. Elias.
I would just like a clarification on the curriculum committee report that the Laurel Highlands School District was awarded 2 PCCD grants, which was $191,000. Of our cameras all updated and everything is working good in that area with our cameras coming into the building?
As I understand it, yes, the high school, actually, we paid the last invoice on this month's billings. Everything's in place.
Because we were having a problem with some of those cameras.
Yes, we had cameras that were no longer operational, and those cameras have been replaced and put in, or new ones put in place, and the contractor has completed all that work and wrapped up and finished everything that he was doing. Am I wrong there, Mr. Barron?
Your tracks were contract commission's work, and we will go through and replace any
And part of what we spoke to that, just as a side note, part of what we spoke to that contractor about is taking some of the cameras that are no longer compatible with the software here at the high school. Those cameras are compatible with the software used at the middle school. So those cameras are able to be used there also. So as we have issues there, whenever they may arise with those cameras becoming antiquated or possibly damaged, we do have replacements now that are going to be operational. We don't have to go through and buy a whole new software program and a whole new camera hardware program or units. We have those, or some in stock, that should buy us a pretty good amount of time there, or we're hoping that they will anyway.
That's correct.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that the ones we have are all working now, and whether we need any more or have to do anything else.
To my
We-
knowledge, right
we're
now, we are
okay.
all operational, and we don't have anything that's down.
thoughts, Mr. Elias? Anybody else have anything? Okay, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Move.
Motion made properly second. Any questions on, or any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I didn't think so. Motion carried. Never is for adjournment.
Always looking down.
Yeah, that's the only one you can count on.
Did they fix All right, I'm going to go meet the new coach. Thank you, Dr. Wallace.